I think as a creative, I appreciate dark spaces. I appreciate the use of light. I was struck by that warmth that it creates. I was struck by your hospitality, the offering of water and food when I arrived. I thought was very gracious, very welcoming. I think, as we moved into the space, and it becomes even more gracious because it's larger, and I think the volume of the space is beautiful, but the introduction of the 3 pillars and their meaning, integrity, respect, and faith, I think could be, the 3 pillars of every human being on this planet's, life. And so I think that's a beautiful way to start. As we talked about it when we were in that space, I was perhaps more drawn to the one dancer than I was to even lovers. And some of the things that I mentioned there around that particular dancer was this idea of surrender, acquiescence, submission, to the will of God in that posture, and beauty of openness, and that sense of freedom that comes with that. For lovers, I could feel the tension that's created there. There's a groundedness, there's something that's very uplifting, but I think, I enjoyed the tension between the two because it's our reality. I love the simplicity, but of course the attention to detail and the construction of it. The shadows were very poetic to me, very peaceful. I felt though they were just shadows, I could perceive a movement of like circumambulation. And then as I walked around to the other side of it, my inclination was just to move right and left, but it was when I moved up, when I came up on my tippy toes, that's when the magic happened. And I think that is to me, it was a beautiful metaphor of how, as we turn our hearts and our minds upwards, as we arise in our lives, the light is even stronger. And that's what was happening. Powerful, grounding, thought-provoking. I thought just, again, the sort of movement through the space was a lovely surprise, because I thought that when we first arrived that's where I would be experiencing something, but it wasn't. We actually went up the stairs and then was invited to sit down. Of course, I was struck by the color, the movement. At first, it felt very cavernous to me, and so I felt very grounded in it. But then the more I kind of experienced it with my eyes open, even with my eyes closed, because I wanted to feel the vibration, I could almost feel it coming up through the seat into my body, which was beautiful. But the more I experienced it at different levels, the more cosmic it became. But there was one image in particular, of course, being so visual, I was attracted by the forms that were created. And then there was the one where I saw a woman holding a child. And for me, of course, that connection is very natural because of my love of children. So yeah, I thought it was just a very very rich experience. And I think the colors are so life-giving. It feels to me so generous in spirit, you know, that you can be invited into a space like this and have this opportunity to immerse yourself in this environment with you know, one-on-one. And I've never experienced anything like it in my life. And I think it's just such a gesture of generosity of spirit. Just so much gratitude and appreciation, you know, for what is obviously a gift that she is so graciously sharing with all of us. Yeah, again, just so appreciate the foundation of her work being around these three pillars of integrity, respect, and faith.